Welcome to Sacred Stories. Today, we will explore one of the greatest mysteries of faith. If God created Satan perfect, where did evil come from? How did a being created in perfection and full of light become the source of darkness and rebellion? What happened in Lucifer's heart that led him to turn against his own creator? If God is the author of all goodness, how did evil arise in the universe? Get ready to dive into this fascinating story of choices, pride, and cosmic consequences. If God created Satan perfect, where did his evil come from? If God is perfect, how did evil enter the world? Where did Satan's initial desire for wickedness originate? Like all the angels, God initially created Satan through the ministry of his Son, Jesus Christ, as confirmed in John 1 verses 1 to 3. In the beginning, the Word already existed. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He existed in the beginning with God. Through the Word, God made all things, and nothing was made without him. All creatures owe their existence to God, and nothing was created without him. It's important to emphasize that all of God's creations were perfect, including Lucifer, who later became Satan. If this is so, how did imperfection and evil enter the world? How did humanity, and even some angels, become corrupted? How did Satan turn evil? Today, we will reflect on these questions. Satan's fall from grace is truly remarkable. To understand this, let's listen to how the prophet Isaiah spoke about Satan's origin and fall. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit. Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 15. This passage reveals the pride and ambition that arose in Lucifer's heart, leading to his downfall. But it wasn't just Isaiah who described this tragedy. The prophet Ezekiel painted an even more astonishing picture of Satan's original perfect state and his fall into the abyss. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you: carnelian, chrysolite, and emerald, topaz, onyx, and jasper, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and beryl. Your settings and mountings were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the fiery stones. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. Through your widespread trade you were filled with violence, and you sinned. So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God. Ezekiel 28 verses 13 to 16. These passages reveal the shocking transition of a being created perfect and glorious, destined to protect, into one consumed by pride, violence, and rebellion. Evil was not created, but it was born in Satan's heart when he chose to rebel against God's authority and plan. When Satan rebelled against God, he not only brought divine wrath upon himself, but also managed to convince a portion of the angels to join his rebellion. It is estimated that about 1/3 of the angels followed Satan in this revolt against God. From that moment on, Satan and his fallen angels became truly evil, opposing God's divine plan and the humans he had created. The word perfection describes the exceptional personal and moral qualities that Satan possessed at his creation. He was not only full of wisdom, but also radiated dazzling beauty. He bore the seal of excellence, being perfect in beauty and blameless in his ways from the day he was created. Both Isaiah and Ezekiel testify that he held the highest position among all the created beings in the universe. It is also clear that he had a special and close relationship with God. He resided on the holy mountain of God, symbolizing the place of God's visible glory. However, without explicitly explaining how it happened, the account reveals that iniquity was found in this supposedly perfect angel. How did this occur? The best clue can be found in Ezekiel 28 verse 17, where it states, Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. So I threw you to the earth. I made a spectacle of you before kings." Due to Satan's proud and self-centered nature, his wisdom was clouded. He became obsessed with himself, dwelling on his own beauty instead of focusing on God's glory. This led to his downfall. This story highlights the danger of pride and self-obsession. In Luke 10 verse 18, Jesus described witnessing Satan's fall from heaven like lightning. To fully understand what Jesus meant, let's look at the context in which he made this revelation. It was when 70 disciples returned after being sent by Jesus to evangelize and prepare the way for Jerusalem. Upon returning, they were filled with joy and perhaps personal pride. They reported to Jesus, "Lord, even the demons submit to us in your name." That's when Jesus warned them against pride, saying, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." Jesus was cautioning against excessive pride, indicating that their delight in their authority over demons should not lead them to pride. Pride is a sin that can lead to other sins. Just as an excess of arrogance caused Lucifer's fall and his expulsion from heaven, the disciples were to be cautious to avoid this danger in their ministry. Lucifer had exalted himself because of his pride, and they were to learn from his fall and remain humble in their ministry. As a consequence of his misconduct and rebellion, God dethroned Satan, and he was expelled from his privileged position on the holy mount of God and cast down to the earth after his original sin. His punishment awaits him in the form of eternal fire, as mentioned in Matthew 25 verse 41. 1. He said, "I will ascend to the heavens," even though he already had access to God's presence. Satan sought to reside in God's place. 2. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. The reference to the stars symbolizes the angels, and Satan desired to elevate his authority above other celestial beings. 3. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly. This indicates that Satan aspired to rule over all matters. 4. I will be like the Most High. This statement represents the height of his self-assertion and rebellion, showing his audacious ambition to be equal to God. Due to the rebellion caused by his pride and self-absorption, Satan's personality underwent a profound change, from perfect to imperfect. The holiness he once held from his Creator was lost, and corruption took its place. The exact moment of Satan's fall is not explicitly revealed in the Bible. However, we can deduce a timeline based on biblical evidence. At some point after the original creation of the heavens and the earth, Satan and his angels fell. It remains uncertain whether Satan's fall occurred before or after the creation of humanity, but it is clear that his fall happened before Genesis 3, where the temptation of Adam and Eve is recorded. Satan successfully deceived and seduced some angels to join him in his rebellion, leading to their permanent moral decay. After this seduction, there was no turning back for them, and they were doomed to an existence of sin and destruction. The book of Revelation 12:4 symbolically describes how 1/3 of the stars in the sky, representing the angels, were swept away by the dragon, Satan, in his attempt to thwart God's plans. It is crucial to remember that the same Bible that records the origin and existence of evil also portrays God as completely just and perfect in all his ways. He views sin as utterly wicked and deserving of judgment. God does not promote or perpetuate sin, as stated in James 1 verse 13. When tempted, no one should say, "God is tempting me." For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. Temptation does not come from God but arises from our own weaknesses. God is beyond temptation, and he does not tempt anyone. Satan, with his beauty, became a source of pride that ultimately led to his expulsion from God's presence. His own pride and self-importance corrupted his mind. He is still driven by pride, seeking to claim what belongs to God. Understanding Satan's pride serves as a cautionary lesson for us, helping us to avoid such pride in our own lives through the empowering presence of the Holy Spirit. At the end of the video, we should keep in mind that the story of Satan and his fall serves as a powerful warning about the danger of pride and self-exaltation. Although Satan was created in perfection, his own ambition and desire to elevate himself above God led to his downfall. This reminds us of the importance of remaining humble and vigilant, relying on God's grace to resist the temptations of pride and arrogance. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, comment, and share with your neighbor. Stay with God until next time.